It's time to rumble in the jungle when we move over to Sanhok for our fourth and final match of today. As always, I am James Banks, and I'm joined by Cormac, Mr. Imperium, to deliver all the commentary for this final game. And in the jungles, you do have to watch out for snakes. But when it's this jungle, it's the players that are the snakes crawling around, trying to sneak in there and catch you off guard at any point. And Airstation Mike, well, they are catching Northern Lights off guard, who have only grabbed themselves 1 point all day.
It's been a tough day at the office for Northern Lights. Good thing is because they had such a strong point advantage up in the top, and the likes of Team MOOPHEUS, Istanbul Wildcats, ELGIGANTEN haven't had the strongest of days. They've held on to that top spot. But when you look at the shifts, we have PG18 moving up to 10th. Tempest have moved up to 11th. No tag team. We talk about how good they are potentially as a team and how strong they've been in previous phases. Dropping down to 12th, not a good start to the week.
But from 12th to 6th is only 20 points. Literally, anyone just wins a game and you're jumping up towards 5th place, close enough.
Oh, boy.
Now, Sanhok's going to get quite interesting, I can reckon, because look at this plane. It's going to struggle for a lot of these teams to get over more towards this western side. Now, it is easier on the map of this size to get across it for sure, but it will delay some of these teams. Tempest, who won our previous game, they're going to get a nice split, as you can see across the board here. Hanny and Clib got their own huge areas to work from, and then Wookie Bookie and Hjort sticking it together. But they do have to be careful because they've got BetterLuckNxTime just down south of them, and Artix, he's actually further away from the rest of his troops.
What's interesting about Sanhok, I haven't done any core research, but from memory, as far as I know, the majority of the circles end up in the southwesterny side of the circle. Oh, actually, no, this one, talk about Caster Curse, this has gone towards the
It's because you said
east.
it.
I know. I knew it was going to be the case. Generally, it has been, which is why Runes has been a prominent place for some of these teams. I know they talked about it in PEL. The teams I'm going to be looking out for in this Sanhok game is definitely Jokers, Team MOOPHEUS, and even Northern Lights. I know Northern Lights haven't had a good game so far, but in Sanhok, in the 4 games we've had so far, they've scored 40 points. So if they can get a good result today, they'll redeem themselves a bit.
This is not what ASM would have wanted, though. Hugstar, the man that saved the day from towards the end yesterday, sorry, in the previous game rather than yesterday. Yesterday would have been Sunday. There was no games. I was definitely not casting games yesterday because I was in Berlin.
It's okay.
I've done well. We managed to get to the 4th game. You know, like I've not slept all day, so.
Plus that's a small mistake. You know, it's allowed. But yeah, and in Sanhok, when you go for those kind of splits, it is very risky because the map is so much smaller. You can instantly find yourself being exposed as a one-man scout early on, as we're seeing something potentially a little bit similar as Marcelek does take down GRISHKAPOWER 4 Kings.
That's an interesting one because 4 Kings got the opening kill. It wasn't onto an ELGIGANTEN member, and now they turn this around and fire back against them. So they're going to be all down 1 member each to start things off with early on here. And this is how close range it can get already. This is what you're starting to see. This is what Sanhok has to offer.
And I remember them talking about, and it made so much sense. They were talking about one of the best positions to land on in Sanhok is where ELGIGANTEN went because he was such an easy entrance into all areas of Sanhok, all kind of islands of Sanhok, from that kind of, north compound area where ELGIGANTEN held on to. And they've made it count a little bit by at least getting 1 kill, and now they're moving into the mainland from the west-hand side.
Now we look over towards the Brute Force team. They've had multiple chances here to do pretty good damage today in terms of getting kills, even placements on the first opening game on a wrangle.
Yep.
But they didn't rotate effectively when they could have gone for a center position on the circle. So they need to maybe show us a bit more confidence than what we've seen today. But that's a confident play already. Jevlez coming out. He's going to find Artix. And we said Artix was the member there for BetterLuckNxTime who was far away from his teammates. Well, this is why sometimes you need to stick a little bit closer because you walk yourself into a whole world of hurt.
Red Foxes continue to be impressed. In day 1, they scored 33 points in 3 games. Oof. They got 0 points in Sanhok, but that average was so strong. Coming into this week, they've climbed the tables, going from 6th place to 3rd in the standings with huge chunk of points and a lot of aggression under their belt.
Ojala took a ton of damage just then. Very low. Double. So unlucky not to get that kill. Doesn't opt to throw the grenade in. Wants to get the kill in. Starts spraying him down already. Damage being done, but he's got his teammates near him this time. Double should be able to clear this one out, and him and his teammates do exactly that. No defense coming out from the rest of MJ-E yet. They're looking for him, though. What happened? He naded himself, Ojala.
Yeah, because he was throwing a grenade, got the knockdown. Team MOOPHEUS exited the area because he realized that. And he ended up taking himself out.
Unlucky for some, but also he did deny them a kill point, which is always a positive.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they just kind of didn't realize that the grenade went out, and they were just focused on the rest of MJ-Esports. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, but MJ-Esports. And what's surprising is that they were kind of together as a full squad compared to other games, yet they still lost a member early on. So it's not the strongest, but we saw what MJ can do as a one-man snake, and that was in Miramar. In Sanhok, it's even more primed to get a good result when you snake yourself around.
And I really don't want to see MG try and challenge this. You're outnumbered. You've already lost a man. Back away carefully. Because again, look, it's Red Fox over and over again. Yep. And they're picking apart BetterLuckNxTime one player at a time.
So calculated.
It's like they run in, run back out.
Yeah.
And then like, peekaboo, we're over here now. We're going to get another kill.
To me, that shows, again, not only...
Nail up, landing the shots. No cover fire able to be provided from the other Red Fox players, and Freenop will find himself going down. And both Nail up and Give It now will just go and hide behind the rocks and wait it out. The distance is too great for all of Red Fox to challenge, and they're already taking other shots towards them. And O'Connell, well, he can do some long-range damage for sure.
Outside of Freenop going down, as I said, Red Foxes, they've been very calculated in their plays. They've been... what they've showed is great awareness and not that tunnel vision that we see from some teams of just kind of focus on this one player or this one squad that they, as you point out, they go in, get a kill, go out, and they're kind of going, okay. Especially in Sanhok, because snakes, and you can turn a corner and you can find yourself being taken out. It's kind of what happened with Freenop. DC got a kill before that happened.
Now, Tempest got the high ground here. They're closing in on Unique. They seem to be aware of Unique's position as well. And if they get caught off guard, this is going to be less than ideal. The circle centers up quite evenly here. Very easy for all of these teams to work their way back into it. And still plenty of space as well.
Oh, now they're breaching on to Greg and the rest of Team Unique. That's one knockdown. That's one kill, leaving Unique down to 3 players. Tempest, they've scored 50 points in 4 Sanhok games. That's an average of over 13 points per game.
Can they do it again here as well? Can they keep the averages up? That's what it's going to be about. If they want to try and take maybe back-to-back wins on different maps, that would be impressive. MPS, though, starting to take some shots at Red Fox. And now we have MJ, Red Fox, and MPS all close range to each other. Jevles getting the damage done, but it's got to be careful. It's getting close range. Nades being thrown as well. Lots of damage being done, but Stratos comes in with the side swipe. And Kofest, he has no idea where to look or where to turn. Metabay needs to come in and help his teammates out, but he just doesn't know where these fights are going to be taken.
Oh, man. What looked so good got turned around. However, Team MOOPHEUS might actually be able to help Metabay. And this is what we see in Sanhok. Third partying is so prevalent. You find yourself focusing on
perfect nade double.
Somebody comes in and takes you out. That's MJ out in 16th place. Metabay will be able to get the revive on the Kofest. Will the heal come out? It's going to be a 3-man MOOPHEUS. 3 or 4-man MOOPHEUS.
Airstation Mike have gone.
Oh, wow.
That was a quick one. So they've not managed to get top 8 for this one. Only the first game of today that they've not been able to do it. So it's not a bad day overall for them. They are still in the number 1 spot. KnorkiS going down from ELGIG. Marcelek trying to keep himself involved. ghostar's close range from him. They've got the Wanderer from PG-18 on the floor, but Recurrent, he's got a nade ready, and he wants to try and use this to his advantage. The nade goes up, but ghostar, well aware of it, running away. Damage been done towards him, but he doesn't want to take this fight anymore. He wants to run away and live to fight another day, and that's exactly what he's going to be able to do. But Marcelek needs to be able to provide some good cover fire here. He's got the tree coming up near him, and he's able to see at least downhill a little bit, but he's unaware of exactly where the PGA team players are. Obviously, we can see that they're already backing away, but he has to be oh so cautious here.
Exactly. The revive and the heal came out for CoFest, leaving Red Foxes as a two-man team. Reggie Birdo and Hawkeye are in that compound. And the one thing I found with Sanhok that's so important compared to other maps, compared to Erangel and Miramar, is when you go into a squad fight, because time is of the essence with both the circle and the map being smaller and squads and teams just being closer together, when you go in for a squad fight, when you go in for that engagement, you are really limited on your time, because if you leave it too long, you can find yourself being third-partied. You can find yourself being shot from different angles. So when you go in for that engagement, make sure you get it as quickly as possible and then move out.
Now, I love this from the Wildcats. They can hear how much noise Four Kings are making, but they didn't move. They stayed completely calm, and they could potentially have the drop on them. Manny's also far away. Remember, he's the scouting player for Four Kings.
Yeah.
Now, the circle, generally center, still got a bit of quarry included in there. Very beneficial for Unique. And remember, they survived that early pressure that Tempest was throwing around towards them. And they've actually got themselves... So Tempest have stayed around the similar area. Unique have managed to sneak out and grab the center position, which is huge.
Shame we didn't have the camera panned over, because I would have liked to see how...
Oh, that was fast.
Unique survived that. Now Istanbul Wildcats popping off against Four Kings, but it's the first knockdown that came at the hands of Four Kings. Now return knockdown come down as Higgy. He's gonna do his best to try and kind of survive. Nope. It's gonna be a kill number one for Istanbul Wildcats as they just look to flank forward, but it's now popping off. Four Kings got eliminated in 14th place. Istanbul Wildcats, I would say they lived to survive another day, but with a brute force, and this is what Sanhok can do, coming in, get to at least one kill in their favor onto Genzo, leaving Apocalypse and Laza, the only two left standing. But can that revive come out?
Yeah, the revive is going to be key. We're following No Tank Team, who have 4 players still up and running with it. Better luck next time. Remember, they lost 2 players very early on from 2 different teams coming towards them. But they're also now very close to No Tank Team, which is scary for them. They may think they've got a good compound, but they need to be able to at least make some noise to scare teams away from it, because a lot of teams that are still remaining have 3 and 4 players up in it.
And those compounds just to the north of Quarry, occupied by Moots, and Red Foxes still holding out against each other, still at a standstill. As Metabay just looking to peek around, move around as quietly as possible, as quiet as a mouse, to find those angles. As CoFest holds the higher ground on top of the rock. I like the position for Red Foxes, but it's a little bit linear, right? You don't have any, any extra angle onto the likes of Hawkeye or Reggie Birdo. It's just kind of angled towards
Double comes around the side. He snuck in behind him. That is absolutely huge. Metabay has no idea. And look, Hawkeye's pushing around. This is a brilliant position from Team MOOPHEUS. If they can do this, Red Fox are going to be kicking themselves. They had no idea. They were so focused on one spot. Yes. And this is where you have to have your awareness up high at all times. Metabay out in the open, but he won't survive. He's instantly taken down by Reggie Birdo. And this is going to be the way to get it done. How smart was that double? He bided his time, and you see he was being able to be distracted for his teammates.
I know I didn't notice double flanking around, but it kind of touches upon what I was saying was Red Fox only held kind of one angle. They were only looking in one direction. A little bit tunnel vision. They paid the price. They go out, as you said, in 13th place. But now AmerouuS, Jokers, they're going up against each other. Both are now outside the circle because this next phase has centered up, leaving Team Unique still inside it. Also, Tempest are still inside the circle.
Guess who's still getting frags? MPS Hawkeye. He's still getting the job done. They're looking to be active, and they've still got the compound. They've still got a great spot here, but they do need to be careful because they've got a team coming up down from the south who might try and sneak in around them. So again, it's awareness that's going to have to be key, especially with 12 teams left alive. And look how tight this circle is.
It's Sanhok. I'm like, as I said, I loved at the start, but I feel for these teams. I feel for these players. It's not easy to deal with, and now it's starting to happen. Istanbul Wildcats eliminated at the hands of Northern Lights. PG-18 now find themselves being popped off by both Brute Force and Team Unique.
15 minutes in, and the action's starting to unfold. PG-18's Nemrith using the rock to provide some cover here as the Northern Lights. They've got themselves in a good spot. They've got the teamwork on go, but they're being shot at by Unique as well.
It's so tough. It's so tough for these players and these teams.
It's just so open. That's the problem right now.
Yeah. As Nemrith gets taken out. PG-18 going down in 11th place, down to 10 teams, 32 players. Told you Northern Lights were a team to look out for. They haven't had a good start to today in the first 3 games, but Sanhok, they seem to find it in their favor.
We just saw BetterLuckNxTime manage to take down most of No Tank team. Now we're seeing AmerouuS throw nades forward and get some more damage done on towards the Jokers, who are desperately trying to hide themselves up here. But Set, he found himself 5 kills, damage still being done. The Boom's trying to get the res onto the tab. And AmerouuS, he just knows they're there, but he can't do much about it. He wasn't able to get the nades to connect at all, and he's just hoping they're going to poke back out. But he's going to be heavily outnumbered in this one now.
And you also have Northern Lights coming in from the eastern direction that could play a part, although they're facing their own hassle by both Team Unique and ELGIGANTEN. So either way, in this, like I said, this is Sanhok. You have to be so aware of every single direction. The second you move an inch.
Oh, took the shot. He's dancing around the rock. He can't manage to connect it. He goes to the pre-fire, but it's not going to work out. He finds himself 1 knocked, but he's also taking damage now at phase 5 from the circle. This is not what he would have wanted. The tab is going to struggle to stay alive. You can see he's using the kit, but the tab, he's just effortlessly trying to move forward. He'll just die out to the zone. AmerouuS will pick up the kill, but AmerouuS doesn't know where to look or where to turn.
I don't think AmerouuS will look to get in circle. I think he'll just look to take that point away from Jokers, at least, while still knowing that he's... Oh, actually, no, he popped off another med kit, which means he could get into the circle. All the while, Yannick, the final member of No Tag team, trying to do their best. Only 1 kill in this game so far, but with 10 teams left standing, plenty of opportunities to get some placement points for his side.
Short landing the headshot onto Kissick, though. Tempest, they don't seem to have slowed down, even though we've moved on to a completely different map. Hawk is going to find himself being taken out, though. And GR Hawk, he had a great game on the previous 1v3 he was able to deal with. He's looking for more now. 5 kills up on double as ELGIGANTEN are going to go out in 10th place. And it's the Moops doing more and more damage. They must be up on a lot of kills now, but they've only got 2 players left alive.
Oh, the Moops. Needing the points, needing to work done. Now they're driving through, but they're outside the circle. You have Team Unique and Huge Potential looking to kind of, well, actually Huge Potential outside the circle as well. So Team Unique gatekeeping 2 teams as Brute Force get eliminated. Standing knocks down double, gets another knockdown. That's gonna be, actually that's gonna be kill for Standing onto double, leaving Team Unique just down to Reggie Berta.
Reggie trying to work his way up there. Good awareness from PVVM. Taking those shots, a lot of damage being done. He's having more fire back towards him, and that nade will see him drop down to the ground. More nades likely to come out, but can Stand him get him up in time. It's the Molotov that starts to fall just short of hitting him. And Dez out. He's got a decision to make as well. Him and Stand-in, do they want to try and bring him back up? As the Deep actually finds Reggie. He'll be the last one out. The Moops out in 6th place.
Oh man, in just a matter of minutes, we've gone down to 5 teams with 15 players left standing. Fades 7 about to show up. Northern Lights looking good so far. Tempest, as I said, potentially kings of the jungle of Sanhok with a bunch of points already in these first 4 games. Looking to add to it, but can't deny what potentially Huge Potential and Team E can do in this game, as well as Jokers.
Now we see it for Wookie Bookie. He's aware where they're pushing from.
Yeah.
He's trying to scout them out and find exactly where they might be going. Now, he's further away from his teammates, but you can see he's already called for the backup. Hanny and Klib are in position. If Wookie can be the front man leading this and do some damage, they should be able to help him out from the side. But they don't want to allow him to get too far away. They need to play the numbers advantage here because they're one of the only 2 teams. It's them and Northern Lights up with 4 players at the moment. Utility being used here. Damage being done as well onto Unique. Now the pressure's going to be applied to the Northern Lights are going to jump on it as well. They're going to be sandwiched by 2 teams. This is exactly what they didn't want, but Standing still putting up a good fight, and he'll take out Zolters.
Ehud is peeking through the window, waiting for the perfect shot. Gets a couple of damage. Now he's going to flank around to that door. It's not open, so he can't take the shots off. Now he's going to turn his attention onto Northern Lights. Being very clever with these shots as Greenhawk did get taken out. Unique get eliminated in 5th place. Fight down to 2 teams with 8 players. It's a 4v4.
Huge potential out in 4th to add another 4 to that.
Oh my God, Jokers were eliminated in 3rd. Northern Lights haven't had a good day so far, but can they end on a chicken dinner? Can they end today going, okay, guys, we've redeemed ourselves for the first 3 games of Tempest, followed up with another chicken dinner in Sanhok, adding to their points total in this newly added map in PUBG. Competitive Wookie Bookie with that bolt action, looking for Spyro, not quite connect. Oh, Hanny did actually with that QBU.
They're not going to be able to bring him out. Look how far away he is on the map. They can all try and run for him, and now they're going to put themselves out in the open. Hanny topping away, lots of damage being done. The Deep's able to fire some back, but Tempest, good communication. They all know exactly where to look. Headshots landed. Hjort's able to do the damage. Klim pushing forward, but he did take some circle damage. And this is phase 7 damage. It's never what you want to see.
And okay, bro, did connect onto Hanny, leaving Tempest down to 3 players. But Wookie Bookie, he's flanking. Surely he has the shot on okay, bro. Yes, he did. He did, and he knocks him down.
Low health, though, because they've just been brought back up. The Deep is the only one left alive. He's going to be very struggled here to do anything. Can he get a heal off? That's going to be vital. Wookie Bookie knows exactly where to look. They're just dying out ever so slowly. Deep is all alone. The shots being taken, the shots being done, and Tempest with back-to-back wins. 11 in the first and 10 in this one just now. Miramar and Sanhok, they were the kings of the jungle, and they'll be swinging into tomorrow feeling very confident.
Man, they are looking very good. Their progression through the tables, the progression in these games and with these points. As I said, considering they had such a bad first day, they've made up for it. They've increased their average points per game and looking very strong in the process.
Now, what's interesting is this game is probably the best game Northern Lights have had all day.
Yes.
And even then, that way they ended that was terrible. They literally were pushing out, went to go and save Spyro, realizing that, okay, we're probably going to have a 3v4.
And they're going downhill.
And then they were just all walking out to their deaths. They should have had a much better vision and idea on how that was being played out.
You could have had one member going to go for a bit of a bait and go for a bit of a distraction, and then the 2 members flanked in the other direction to possibly cause a bit of a pinch onto Tempest, because Tempest, in fairness, they were doing a great job of holding their angles, but they had lost Hanny, you know, outside the circle, so they weren't exactly super secure themselves. Northern Lights just kind of handed it to them on the plate.
And that is what sometimes can happen and something you'll have to learn from going into your games tomorrow. But I'm excited now from what we saw from Tempest these last 2 games because the teamwork was just so on point. Both times they were in a 2v multiple players, right? On when it came to Miramar, and they were able to finish them off. And that was exact teamwork, right? They had to be able to coordinate that effectively. Now they're doing it with the 4-man squad up as well and causing a hell of a lot of problems for these teams. And they were just using good angles. They were using long distance, long range, the bolt actions coming into play as well. Headshots being landed left, right, and center. Really impressive from Tempest.
And you could say that they kind of had help from the likes of Northern Lights, huge potential, Team Unique, who were kind of in the opposite direction. But at the end of the day, when it came down to it, it was still a 4v4. Northern Lights kind of had every chance to win that. But this was the points from this last game. Airstation Mike, they've had 3 good games, but not ending Sanhok in a good run with 0 points, as you pointed out. Tempest, 10 kill points, 10 placement points. Another strong finish with 20 points in total for that game. But Joker's getting 12, and I said that like Jokers and Tempest were the 2 teams to watch in Sanhok, and they've proved my point correctly.
And what's interesting as well is MOOPHEUS, 7 kills in that game. So they were very active across the whole thing. And this will make sure that they can continue that little rise that they're having. These standings are going to be very interesting coming towards the end of it, Cormac. But again, we've still got another 12 games coming your way for this. So we can be saying all this now, and with everything, it's like, yeah, they're looking great. But it's that consistency. And to me, the most consistent team we've seen is, yes, Airstation Mike did end up going out in 15th place on that previous game, but they were in top 8 for all the other 3 games. And for me, a team that wants to finish within the top 8, I've seen teams win contenders or win PUBG events in general, and they've never actually won a game because they can just actually just frag out and get decent placement points alongside
Hell, even in Group A, you saw YMCA had 4 chicken dinners, yet they only finished in like 6th. You know, so it's kind of like, hey, look, getting the chicken dinners is good, but if you don't follow it up with the consistency, you're going to find yourself struggling. But either way, these were the head-to-head. Tempest, Jokers, 4 kills for Wookie Bookie, 6 for Set, and 4 knocks, 380 damage.
Now, we talk about the teamwork from Tempest. 4 kills, 4 knocks. He only did 178 damage. So he was like, it was pure teamwork there that was being done, or he was able to steal it away from other people. Either way, he was playing it smart. And Airstation Mike, they'll end with 9 points clear of Northern Lights going into it. MOOPHEUS now in 3rd place. Red Fox in 4th. The Wildcats slipping back down. Tempest now in top 8. But look at this. From no tag team in 12 all the way to Jokers up in 6th place, that is only 22 points.
Wow.
So close, so tight. And this is what you love. Because sometimes we see this where 14th to 16th or 15th to 16th, maybe like 20 or 30 points below anyone else. But even this is close. Like, generally, you just need to have 1 or 2 good days, and you're going to be laughing your way all the way to the top. And talking about the next few days, tomorrow we will be back again at 7 p.m. CEST for 4 more games. Matches 21 through to 24. And remember, there is only 32 games in total. And when we get towards the end of that, we will be defined on our 8 teams that will join the other 8 teams from the previous group. And we start the madness all over again.
It's going to get crazy. I just cannot wait, James.
Oh, yes, mate. It's been good casting with you. First time we get to cast together now. Right? Get to join back on Contenders. It's beautiful to be back here for PUBG Europe Contenders, but we are done for another day. I hope you guys have all enjoyed it. We'll be continuing the madness tomorrow. 4 more games to come your way. Make sure you join us at 7 p.m. CEST.